Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting with me, Carl Froch, aka the Cobra, former Unified Super World Boxing Champion and International Boxing Hall of Famer. I'm here this evening in Manchester at the arena where I nearly got splattered in the first fight with George Groves. And we're here to remember and celebrate the life of Ricky Hatton. It's the Ricky Hatton Foundation, and so many boxers, ex-world champions, current world champions, future world champions have turned up this evening for Ricky Hatton. The crowd's massive. There's got to be 8,000 people here. It's unbelievable. I caught up with so many boxers. We're going to get straight into it with my old friend Tony Bellew. How you doing? Been joined by Tony the Bomber Bellew here at the Ricky Hatton Foundation. Always good to see you.
Always good, champ.
Are you doing all right?
Yeah, shit going on, but what can you do to life?
Yeah, looking sharp, mate. Ricky Hatton, we've got to just pay a quick tribute to him on the best channel in the business, Froch on Fighting. What's your lasting memory of Ricky Hatton?
Seen him in the airport not too long before this incident happened. My kids were just like, wow, Dad, you're mates with him, you know him? And I was like, yeah, come up, give me a big hug, get chatting for 10-15 minutes. Just sad that that's the last time I spent time with him. But before all that, I just won my first ABA title going to the gym. Paul Smith took me up to the gym, he was a professional there. And I just watched him train. And I just thought, wow, I've been around boxing my whole life. It's all I know. I've studied it, I've watched fighters, I've watched them train, I've studied fighters training to see what they were doing in the gym.
How hard did he train, man?
And I've never seen anyone
crazy, wasn't it?
Work with the intensity levels he worked with, watching him with Billy Graham, watching him jump the bar. Everything he done was intense, and I just thought, wow.
Have you ever tried that, jump the bar?
No, well,
after the pads? I did it for a few rounds. I thought, I'm not doing this.
When I started my professional career, I went to Manchester with Anthony Farnell, and I basically went to Anthony Farnell because he'd spent so much time with Ricky, and Billy Graham trained Anthony Farnell, and I was hoping that was going to rub off for me, so I jumped the bar for 18 months to nearly 2 years, so I can jump bar still now.
Tough though, isn't it?
40 jumps in a minute, you've just got to get through it, and it is, but your body becomes conditioned to it, and you adjust to it. But Rick could do everything.
He's smashing the body bag on Billy Graham for 15 rounds. He's jumping over the bar. The fitness and the intensity that Ricky Hatton brought to the training, the energy and the enthusiasm.
You'll not see that again. Yeah, you'll not see that again. As I said, the intensity levels that he had, everything he could do. And then he would literally finish that and then go and lift mad weights with Kerry Case. He was so strong, his bottom half, his legs thick set, strong, just an absolute machine. And as I said before, I've never ever been around people and been in awe of them when they train. And he was, as I say, as an ABA champion, just ready, wanting to go professional. I thought, wow, that's the standard you've got to get to. Yeah. And that's what sticks with me the most.
A couple of months before the tragedy, so I think you've probably seen him after that. And when I was talking to him, he talks to you, but he's kind of he's somewhere else. It's like he's not in the room, and he's always thinking about something else. And I could sense there was a problem. My brother's there. My brother's like 8 years sober now. He fell off the wagon. He's back. He's got his 6 months chip, so he struggles with drink, substance abuse, gambling. You know, the 3 deadly sins. And he spotted it in Ricky, and he said, "Ricky's not right. He looks blank in his eyes. He needs to speak to somebody. It's so important. Mental health." And people say, oh, mental health is a load of bollocks. It's not a thing, but it is. Sometimes mental health can just be something that's on your mind or in your heart, or it could be you fell out with your dad, or you're using, you're drinking too much, you're upsetting the wife. But just a conversation with somebody can make such a big difference. Did you notice it when you see him last? When you last saw him, did you think it wasn't himself?
The stories were out at that stage, and listen, I don't think I don't feel fair saying it, but ultimately, everyone's going through something. Absolutely. The perfect life doesn't exist, Carl. No, I don't. Like, no one living the perfect life, it just doesn't exist. Every single person in this stadium tonight is going through something in life, and it's just as men, we've got this thing, we keep it in and we hide it, and you've got to talk, because a problem shared is a problem halved, in my opinion, and you've just got to speak up. Men, talk to someone. I don't give a shit who it is. Open your mouth and just get it off your chest. It's not a weakness. Talking to people is a strength. Don't ever let me say it's a weakness, because it's not. I hear from fellas, I don't want to talk, it's not my way. Well, fucking make it your way. There's a reason why suicide is so low in women. It's because, I know they constantly talk, but they do get it off the chest. They speak about it. And
they're a lot stronger than
take an example.
Women are.
Listen, women are better than men. I've always believed that. Anybody who can give birth, if men gave birth, there'd be no babies in the world, mate. I've always believed men are better than women, but we need to talk and we need to do better. And yeah, on that note, I've got to jump.
Always great to catch up with Tony Bellew, my old mate, my old sparring partner. I tell you what, he's chin checked me a few times. It made me hurt a little bit, to be honest. And he won't admit the fact that I actually caught him back and had him a little bit wobble, but I'll give it him. I don't mind taking it on the chin for Bellew. fair play to him. I also caught up with Paulie Malignaggi, actually one of the best minds in boxing. He's a great pundit, great analyst. He's absolutely he's a nutcase because he's fighting bare knuckle now. Crazy, but here's Paulie Malignaggi. Absolutely delighted to be joined with 2-weight world champion Paulie, the mad bastard Malignaggi. That's not actually his ring name, but he's done some bare knuckle boxing just lately, and I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, you've got to be an absolute lunatic, but I was there at your first fight, bare knuckle.
Yeah.
And you, second fight, the guy was holding you, hitting you, never let you get into it. But anyway, we're here tonight for Ricky Hatton Foundation, Ricky Hatton Tribute Night. And first of all, I've got to start off with your memories of Ricky Hatton. You fought him yourself. But what's your lasting memories of Ricky Hatton?
For me personally, and I'm going to go in the ring and talk about this as well, there's two sides, because for me it was the rival, the guy who was my rival, and then the guy who was my friend. The guy who was my rival was a marauder, a malicious person in the ring, a destroyer, a seek and destroy guy. And the guy outside the ring who I became friends with was a jokester, a prankster, a guy who could make you laugh, a guy who could be not only self-deprecating but make fun of you in the same moment and catch you off balance. He
took the piss out of me terribly. Had a new brown leather jacket. He totally wrote it off.
And then to make you comfortable, he'd take a piss out of himself just to make sure you were comfortable. He was also very, very, very altruistic as well in that way. And cared about your feelings.
You saw quite a bit of him, didn't you? After you became quite close. How did you find out the personal side of him?
Well, I hear a lot working as a pundit many times. And sometimes Rick would also work as a guest pundit at times. Sometimes
one of the best pundits in the business, by the way.
Thank you, champ. And then sometimes, I would be in town or we'd message one another and meet up. That's the only regret I have is I didn't message him more. Now looking back on things, sometimes you think to yourself, oh, he's famous, he's Ricky, he's gonna be too busy for me to be messaging him all the time. You think about these things now. Sometimes maybe people want to hear from you. Sometimes maybe you're not as annoying as you think you might be. And that's the only thing. But when it was around, Rick was always, like I said, talk about the joking stuff, but always there as a friend as well. The last time I spoke to him, I was getting ready for my first bare knuckle fight, and I was in
was that when you last saw him?
In the UK. It was 2 months before, 3 months before, and he told me I was in the UK, and he called me and he said, Paulie, my gym is available to you 24/7 whenever you want to use it. While you're here, don't worry about it. I'll have them open it for you if you need it. He was going to the UAE, so he wasn't going to meet me in person, but basically he was letting me know, like, I'll see you next time. Don't worry, I can't tell you what I'm going for the UAE for yet, but you'll find out soon. And he was just, basically let me know anything you need. Just let my guys know. We'll be there, and I'll see you soon. Never saw him again after that.
Yeah, what a shame. I don't think a lot of people knew he was sad and struggling, and there was people close to him. But
you always underestimate it. You always underestimate it, champ, because you think as a normal person on the outside, you think to yourself, there's no way he's going to be like that. Sometimes we look at these our heroes as like larger than life, and for me, Rick was. I came to the UK so much, I realized that the presence Ricky hadn't had, So even for me, it was a big presence. To me, even though we fought, it was me. I was like a fan of it, So for me, it was like you're taken aback by this big presence. You never really think people are going to have the real world problems, real human problems, and that's where we underestimate it sometimes. And I think this is also a learning lesson for all of us, to be there for one another and really tackle something like this,
Absolutely. I think the main message for the Ricky Hatton Foundation, if you've got something on your mind, something bothering you, or if you're drinking too much, or if you're abusing any kind of substance, any mind-altering substance, and you've got a problem, don't just wallow in your own sorrows and your own sort of self. Talk to somebody. And get out there, and that's what this foundation is about. Men talking.
And I really think about the fact that we all have our mates that we can confide in. We all have our mates that we can talk to. And that's what we're supposed to be there for. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. You don't necessarily have to go. Sometimes as men we say, oh, we don't want to talk about our business in public. We don't want to look weak in public. Okay, well you have your close mates. You have your close people with you. You have your family. You got to have those 3-4 people at least around you.
That's what the mates are there for as well.
Yes. You know
Sometimes
what I'm saying?
let your guard down and just be honest.
Yes, exactly. You got to have those 3-4 people. It's very important for all of us to have that, and almost all of us have that. And those are the ones we have to at least be able to open up to if we want to. Because as a man, I myself sometimes will say, oh yeah, I'm not comfortable just telling anybody my problems. I like keep my cards close to my chest. But there are all those 3-4 people that you need to have those people. You need to talk to those people. We all have good days and bad days, and we all have struggling days. And that's what it's really about. If anything, the message for today has to be that. And even as if you're one of those mates, you want to reach out to your friend. Maybe think to yourself, sometimes they may want to hear from you. Sometimes they may need that. Sometimes you don't always think about these things until a tragedy happens.
Yeah, and there's some turnout tonight for it. I mean, my first world title fight in the Nottingham Arena. I think it holds 8,000. I think there was about 4,000 there. There's probably 8,000 here tonight, and this is a tribute.
I fought here at my BKB fight, and there's more people here. There's more people here than there was at my fight. I mean, this is the presence. Yeah,
and that's how big it is.
Ricky was on a different level. Iconic.
Listen, we can't say enough kind and honest and great words for Ricky Hatton. What an absolute legend. He's going to be sadly missed. He's sadly missed by so many people. It will never be forgotten. But Ricky Hatton, we love you and we miss you. Let's move on to a little bit of boxing news, a little bit of boxing. What's going off in the boxing world in a minute? What do you make of it? Well, I know you're doing bare knuckle boxing now, you mad bastard. But what do you make of Usyk Rico, for example? I was out in Egypt. I had a look at that.
That was weird. Right? It was a little weird. I don't know.
Do you think Usyk was firing on all cylinders, or do you think he took it lightly?
I don't know, because you think about these Eastern guys, and you think like they don't take anybody lightly. They're always prepared. But then again, maybe he's just 39 years old. The awkward guy. Rico's really awkward. Usyk's 39 years old.
It's a tough age at any weight, isn't it? 39.
Tough age at any weight, exactly. And I think maybe that's more what it is. And you start to think about if Usyk is just aging out more so than anything else. No matter how disciplined you are, aging out is still aging out. So you never know. Or maybe he has to adjust his own training. When you get older, you got to adjust your training a little bit. Maybe he's got to make some adjustments if he's going to stay active at this age.
Should he fight Ajit Cabello next? Do you think he should take that?
If he's going to stay active, then Cabello deserves a title shot. You can't just stay active and keep a world title hostage. You're supposed to fight. Yeah, you have to. That's one thing I don't agree with is when guys start staying active, but then they start nitpicking their championship defenses. If you're going to be a champion, then you have to either be stripped or you have to take on your mandatory. I think at this age, it's very, very tough to keep a championship level all the time if you're a guy like Usyk. So that's why I think, he's accomplished so much. Maybe retirement is the way, but if he's going to be active.
I don't see him go.
I don't see him retiring either.
There's a couple of fighters as well that I think are going on too long. There's loads of fighters that fight on too long.
Yeah,
but
of course.
There's two now that's on the top of my mind, and I think Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Has retired 5 times. He's back. He can't leave it alone.
Yeah.
You've obviously got Anthony Joshua.
Yeah. I shouldn't be talking about this either, really. I'm the last guy to talk about myself.
But you're an example of it.
Yeah.
Just fucking stop fighting.
Yeah.
But Anthony Joshua. Bad loss against Dubois. Obviously, a comeback fight against Fake Paul. What a fucking joke that was.
Yeah.
Should he be fighting again? I mean, it's a big money fight with Fury. Do you think these two should be fighting?
The thing about Joshua and Fury is it's a fight that has a lot of allure to it in the UK, and it's a fight that didn't happen. So people are going to want to make it regardless. So they have to sort of build it where you get Fury his win over Makhmudov. Now maybe you find a way to get AJ this win over this Albanian heavyweight, and then maybe you make the fight. Yeah, I'm not sure if after that they should be fighting, but I think
Fury wants more.
The problem is the winner of the Fury AJ fight. The winner's going to want one more. Of course, the winner, because the winner's going to have so much fanfare. Now the momentum,
exactly.
You can't. Now you're really not going to stay away from it. Think about it. If they're fighters that can't stay away from it as it is, and as a fighter, I speak about this myself as well. Then you get that big win. I wanted to just win in bare knuckle in October. Then I got the win. I got the momentum. I'm like, you know what? I want to fight for the title. So that's the problem we have here. AJ and Fury, you think about, we're going to build to a big fight. But then the winner of AJ and Fury is going to want to fight a big fight. They're going to want that. So
this guy's so naturally hyped up, Paulie Malignaggi. Probably the hype.
Just talking about this kind of stuff gets me hyped,
So like natural endorphins always running through his body, through your veins, and that's why you've got that fight in you. Another subject I want to talk about quickly. Conor Benn. Conor Benn's a hard worker, a grafter. He means business. He believes in himself. Obviously, last time against Prograis was a bit of a shadow of his former self, but Conor Benn did what he had to do. He got the win. What do you think about him now stepping up to the Ryan Garcia level? Is he ready for that? Do you think he'll do well? Will he be okay?
I think Conor's
people are writing him off.
Conor Benn's a very popular fighter, but and for many reasons. And listen, that all power to him for that reason. But if his last name wasn't Ben, he wouldn't be anywhere here near with the level he's on. So, does that mean I don't like the fact that he's here? No. You know what? He's taking advantage of the name. He's been promoted well. He's been moved well. I don't think he's a world-class fighter, though. I don't think his best performances were around that PED suspicion. He's not looked good since. He looked bad against the corpse that was Regis Prograis at this point, a corpse version of Regis Prograis. I don't even think he's that good, honestly.
Who's his best win? Chris Algieri?
But do you count that? I mean, do you count the wins over Van Heeren and Algerian?
Eubank Jr. He lost to Eubank.
Maybe the Eubank fight because,
But he lost the first one. The second one, Eubank was dead, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. There's always going to be some. Listen, if somebody's at their best and they're world class, Conor Benn's not beating them.
Is there a fight that comes to mind where you say, yeah, he's ready for world level?
No.
Not fought anyone?
No.
So what do you think happens against someone like Ryan Garcia?
He gets knocked out.
He gets knocked out?
Yeah. I think
How long do you think he'll last?
I'm not sure.
Big puncher Garcia, fast.
Big puncher, and he's fast, and he sets up the power well. See, I look at Conor like he's so determined to show everybody that he had power after the PED suspicions that he punches. He tries too hard to punch. You can see even in the last fight he's putting too much weight even on his jab. He's trying so hard to show people, no, I was really a natural puncher. Mate, you weren't. You're not a puncher. You know what I mean? And by trying so hard to be a puncher when you're not a puncher, you're going to look worse. Just snap your punches out. Just be that fighter, and that's it. Just be the boxer, and that's it.
Are you saying that's the difference?
I think that's the difference. Yeah, he's trying to be a puncher when he's not, because he's trying to prove to people. Because maybe when there was that PED suspicion, he was knocking out guys that you probably wouldn't be knocking out before or after, and he hasn't knocked out even lesser guys since. So if you look at the way, I mean, I noticed the Prograis fight. He's literally pushing the jab out. He's like trying to knock you, and I think that makes you look worse. Just don't try to be a puncher. Like at a certain point, I realized I'm not a puncher. I'm gonna snap my punches out. I'm gonna speed my punches up, and I'm gonna just be world class as I can be. I think that's what Conor Benn. I think that's the approach Conor Benn should take. Be the best boxer you can be. This is boxing. If you're not gonna have world class power, sometimes you're gonna get a stoppage, sometimes you're not. But work on your boxing. I don't think he's a puncher.
Well, the fight's happening in September, obviously.
With Garcia.
Garcia is a big puncher. I mean,
and Garcia is also fast and sets it up well, and he's...
I think Conor Benn's style is made for him. Conor Benn comes forward, he tries to impose himself.
Listen, I don't knock the fight. One's very popular, the other's very popular. You can't not make that fight. I understand that from a business perspective.
Do you think it's a mistake for Conor Benn though, because they could angle him and maneuver him?
I don't think
it's time now to go for a world
He's got to go for it, Carl. What else?
He believes in himself. He thinks he's going to do the business.
He's not going to do the business. I'll tell you that. He's not going to win that fight. But I'll tell you what.
Are you giving him no chance at all?
No shot at all. But if you lose, you lost to a world champion. It's okay.
Yeah.
You lost to, and if you win, it's a big deal. But you're at the moment of truth as far as you're most popular. Ryan's at his most popular. Yeah. You can't skip that fight. There's too much money in it. You can't skip that fight.
What else do you reckon then to the state of boxing currently? Are you following it still? Are you into it?
I work in boxing. I follow it.
Yeah.
We're in a little bit of a weird time. There's
change with the crossover stuff.
There's a mainstream and then there's like crossover stuff, and that's why guys like me can sort of come in. Maybe I'll jump into Misfits. I'll jump into Bare Knuckle. A little bit of everything. There's a curiosity about all this. Netflix is doing Mayweather Pacquiao. You imagine? Give me the winner of Mayweather Pacquiao. I'll show you. This guy might even coming back. McCall, you fancy yourself coming back or what?
I'll come back against someone like Fake Paul or Big John Fury in a fighting man. What do you reckon of John Fury still? Think we should fight him?
I think you got to take him some rounds.
Yeah.
Big John is a tough guy early, I think, but maybe you got to take him some rounds. You got to use the ring on John Fury.
Show, come with me, John.
Yes.
Make a few quid. Get the old Bunsen burner going. Listen, Paulie, it's always a pleasure talking to you.
Right.
We work together as well.
Yes, awesome.
So much respect for you.
Awesome.
Good luck with the BKB if you're carrying on.
Terrific.
Mad as you like, still fighting.
I might not, but maybe I'll look for a glove fight. I'll see.
I know you're going on as well. You're going in the ring in a minute. In front of
I
the
will.
Old Hatton crowd. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, champ. Appreciate it. Thank you.
See you later, man. So that was Paulie Malignaggi. I tell you what, he's such a good guy. I've been out with him a couple of times. We had a night in Vegas, was in New York as well. He's just such a great guy. So much fun to be around. And he's a great mind as well. Great pundit, great analyst. I also caught up with WBC champion Dalton Smith, and this is what he had to say. Look who it is. It's a who's who of boxing. A night of there's champs everywhere. We've got the WBC champ Dalton Smith. He's been on the channel before. You were supposed to fight last Saturday?
No, last night.
Last night, of course it was. Sunday today, isn't it?
Yeah, last night.
Damaged your elbow.
Yep.
Pulled out.
Yep.
Just fight with a bad elbow. What's wrong with you, pussy? Yeah. My elbow was fucked my whole career.
Yeah. You weren't saying this off camera.
You've got that elbow injury that absolutely fucking it murders you. It's horrible. You think he's got the scar on his elbow.
Yeah, I've got the scars to prove it.
He's had the bone deburred. It's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
You miss with a jab. You can't in training. You can't get your training.
To be honest, obviously I've always had trouble with him. As an amateur, I did, not as a professional.
Yeah.
And then it just went. Usually after I see a bit of treatment, and it was like, look, I think we need to go and get you seen to. So.
How far into your camp was you before you thought I'm fucked here? I've got to start.
I was only a couple of weeks.
Oh, was you?
Yeah, it was like 7 weeks before the fight.
Yeah.
And I still left it like another week, 2 weeks. And I was like, yeah, this doesn't feel right. When I got a scan, and it was like, yeah, I think we need a bit of treatment on that.
Yeah. You'll be back.
Yeah,
when are you back?
October, hopefully. End of October, Sheffield Arena. Same fight, Alberto Puello, the mandatory.
Yeah.
So, ready for it.
Smash it. New fresh WBC champ. His belt's bigger than mine as well.
Yeah,
bigger and shinier.
It is, isn't it? Bigger the better, eh?
But absolutely. What's the crap? We're here tonight for the Ricky Hatton Foundation.
Yep.
There's been a massive turnout. It's been a real great tribute for him, and rightly so. What's your memories of him? You're a young lad, but what's your lasting memory of Ricky Hatton? And did you meet him much?
Yeah, I've met him quite a bit. I had the privilege to box on his same card when he fought Barrera last.
Right, okay.
I was there at his comeback
It was
fight.
the exhibition fight, wasn't it?
It was the exhibition fight. I defended my British title fight on that. And yeah, just he's been a big inspiration growing up, like yourself. And I've got to get you in there as well.
I appreciate that. He knows the game.
And obviously I was GB with you and that there, seeing you train with Rob. And yeah, just what he's done. The man he was, what he achieved, the crowds he drew. He was a big inspiration, just like all you guys. And that's what. Even like what I'm doing now, I've got to remember the next fighters coming through. And I've got to inspire them like the likes of you and Ricky did. He's.
Well, you're doing that, mate. WBC champ.
Exactly. You just got to, be a good role model, be true to yourself, and give 100%.
Yeah, definitely. What do you make of the AJ Fury fight? Who wins it?
I'm always going to back AJ for me.
Yeah.
AJ is my boy, but I think it is a real 50-50 fight at the stage that in the career now.
Yeah. Are you glad to see him fighting? Do you think there should be fighting?
Yeah, I think it's the only fight for both of them.
Yeah, I agree to that.
Give it cheap, you can stay in the sport too long and get hurt.
They can't risk fighting anybody at the top either, I don't think.
And I think where they're at, they're not in the prime, they're not at the peak, so they don't want to fight these young, fresh, hungry guys.
Yeah.
That's the only fight for them, and win, lose, draw, whatever it is, have that and go and enjoy life.
How does AJ beat him?
I just think, I don't know, I think I can see, Fury's look like he's slowed down a little bit.
Think AJ gets to him?
He could get to him.
AJ's
got the speed.
That'd be some win, that would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, who are you picking in it?
I've got Fury as the favourite because I've only seen AJ
against Jake Paul. We haven't got much to go off.
Since
I agree with that.
Since he got flattened by Dubois, he's fought Jake Paul. That's not really a fight. It's 2 years out.
Exactly.
And when I see what he looks like against, is it Prenga? Is he going to get Prenga? So see what it looks like against him. We don't know this Albanian knockout guy. We don't know him. Apparently he's a doorman. Fair play to doorman. I've done a bit of door work myself, but can he box? We're going to find out. But it'd be nice to see AJ looking.
He'll be getting paid more than he's on doors, though, won't he?
Absolutely, 100%. I never got paid. I used to do it for some of our
for free.
With my old man as well. Before I let you go, mate, I want to talk to you quickly about Adam Azim.
Yep.
What do you reckon? Any good?
Of course, he's a good fighter, but we're yet to see him have a standout performance against a legit fighter. Everyone's going off his last performance, Steve Claggett. Steve Claggett lost to the guy who I beat last year, Matthew Germain. But look, I'm on my own journey. I've proven I'm world level. We're yet to see him do that, and I'm not here to give anybody a piggyback.
It's definitely a step up for Adam Azim if he ends up fighting you.
Yeah.
If the fight happens, how does it finish?
Look, if you were in my shoes now, you've got a kid coming up, Carl, who's not proven, not beating anybody to be worthy of a fight with you yet. What's your advice to them?
Sounds like George Groves tapping on the door for my IBF title.
Exactly.
I nearly got flattened.
Yeah, I know, but George Grove was proven then, though.
Yeah, he beat James DeGale.
He beat James DeGale, beat world-class fighters. Adam's not
so
yet.
You said that Adam Azim needs to have a couple of wins that mean something.
I think Adam is a very good fighter. I think it's a fight. What is going to happen as long as we both keep on winning. But he needs to be proven. Yeah. He needs to have that performance to say, he's world class.
That's fair enough.
But like I said, I'm not giving nobody a piggyback.
No. Oh, mate. Well, listen, you're defending that WBC title.
Yep.
I'm sure you're going to be successful in that. I've seen how you train.
Yep.
I know what you've got. I've seen you fight.
Yep.
Good luck to you. Hopefully the Adam Azim fights, because they will have a domestic tear-up.
Exactly.
We'll have a dust-up.
Exactly.
Adam Azim, you're going to have to fight someone, mate, because the world titles aren't... We can't give you one. You've got to become mandatory, or you're not going to fight for it. You've got to get up the rankings. Good fight, though. I like him. I rate him.
It is
he
a good fight.
a little bit.
Yep.
I'd love to see that one, but tonight it's for Ricky Hatton. Last word for Ricky Hatton. Rest in peace, Ricky Hatton.
Yep.
And I'll see you soon, Dalton.
Top man,
Thank you very much, mate.
Pleasure, brother.
Well, look who I bumped into. Adam Smith, the voice of boxing. Tell you what, so glad to hear you back on DAZN.
Thank you.
You're in the comms. Brilliant. It makes the fight, doesn't it?
Thank you. I miss you. I miss you.
I miss you, mate. We had a great time.
We had a great time together,
I
didn't we?
retired from boxing and I went straight into Sky Sports, mainly because of this man here. It was a fan. You know what? I had a good 7-8 years with Sky.
Yeah, it was great fun.
Absolutely loved it. We had some great memories, haven't we?
We had some great memories.
Awesome.
We saw some great fights. We travelled the world. It was fantastic. And look, it's really good to see you doing so well, and the family are great. And I'm back and I'm enjoying DAZN, enjoying being ringside. And obviously the tragedy of Ricky the last few months has been tough. But we're here tonight to celebrate his life. I'm writing a book about him. I feel I've taken it really hard, and I think it's because I grew up in boxing with him, and I just felt a piece of me went, and it was very, very sad, and I found it hard to sort of get to grips with, really. But he was unbelievable, and the people here tonight he was a man of the people, and everybody loved him. And it's just tragic for his family.
You was there for the whole of Ricky Hatton's career. Like you commentated. Did you commentate on nearly every single one of his fights?
A lot of them, yeah.
I mean, it must have been so close to him. He's got such a big part. I mean, because you've gone through so many people's careers.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've had how long's your career been? Has it been
30,
25, 30 years?
Yeah, a long
time. So you've
time.
gone like 3 generations, because boxers have about 10 years, sometimes 12, 13 years.
That's right.
So you've seen the whole from the Ricky
I
Hatton
started really when Chris Eubank Sr. had his world
Senior, see
tour.
what I mean? The
Nigel
start back,
Collins, Nigel Benn, Steve Collins, all of that, Prince Nassim Mohammed. Ricky Hatton was the most accessible fighter Sky I think ever had. I mean, he'd do anything with us for the cameras. He was absolutely superb. He'd chuck us his keys and say, go and make us a brew. No ego, total humility, just a lovely guy. And he never took himself too seriously, self-deprecating, one of the people, just fabulous. And yeah, I got really close to him. We sort of grew up in boxing together. I was 7 years older, and I met him when he was just turning 18. And yeah, we had an unbelievable ride, and he was an unbelievable fighter. And what I loved about him was that he trained so hard for 15 weeks, and then he went out and had a great time. And I enjoyed both parts of that with him.
Probably shortened his career a little bit, living like
so.
that between, but he got the most out of what he had for his career.
He did. He was absolutely superb. Costas Hugh was the pinnacle here, but two-weight world champion beating Luis Collazo, and just really, bar the Senchenko fight, lost to the two elite fighters of his generation in Mayweather Pacquiao. And I kept telling him that he took them so badly, particularly Pacquiao.
I was about to touch on that because he was a winner.
Yes.
He went into the ring believing he was going to win in both fights.
Yes.
The Manny Pacquiao and the Floyd Mayweather fight. He literally believed he was going to win.
Yes.
He got in there. Why wouldn't you?
Yes.
He had the fitness, the dedication, the commitment, the mindset, and he went into that ring. And them 2 losses, and we're talking about mental health, do you think they sat badly on his head as a winner? He took them badly, I thought, when I used to speak to him.
Yeah, agree.
Would you subscribe to that?
Totally agree, and especially Pacquiao, and I think the manner of the Pacquiao defeat really haunted him for a long time. Look, he found some salvation in the gym with his training, with his managing, promoting, with Campbell, with his daughters Fern and Millie. I think he had a lot in his life, but I do think that he struggled with the losses because they were so high profile and all the fans had gone out to see him. I think he felt he let them down, and he let no one down, and that's Ricky. He always thought about other people, and actually he obviously was struggling a lot inside. We know he was open about mental health, about his depression, and I just thought he was in a better place, and that was the tragedy, I think, last year. I thought he was in a better place.
Oh, but can you remember the last time you spoke to him? Saw him?
Yes.
You could pinpoint. Was it here?
Yeah, it was here. It was here at a fight night about a month before, 6 weeks before.
A month before. So,
and he sounded great. He was talking about his granddaughter Lila, about Jack and Lola, and just going to Tenerife, spending more time. He was just about to stop training for the fight that he was going to have in Dubai. You just sometimes I think don't know what's going on inside, but we know he suffered with mental health, and we know that he has the Ricky Hatton Foundation to help other people who have those issues to talk.
He's left his legacy, and now he's got this, which is fantastic for any men struggling with mental health. And tonight is a real tribute and a real showcase for what he stands for, because like I said earlier in the ring, he's got more people here tonight than when I fought for a world title, and after as well. I mean, that just shows how big he is and how popular he is, and it's nice that his name now lives on in a foundation like this for men's mental health. So the night's been fabulous. You're playing your part again, centre stage in the ring. The voice has done a fantastic job. I know you're still busy, so you need to go soon, but thanks for taking the time to talk to me. It's always great to see you.
It's always great to see you.
What was you about to say?
I'd just say there's genuine affection between us two. We work very, very well together at Sky. I loved your career.
Some of my best nights commentating with this junior.
Yeah, and before that, what a fighter, what a fantastic
fighter.
fighter.
He used to write about 300 words on a tiny post-it note. And I was trying to look at his notes and say, what's he writing there? He just scribbles it down, reels it off.
We had great fun.
Such a professional.
And keep close, my friend, keep close.
Yeah, I will do, and I'll see you very soon, no doubt. And I've also bumped into one of the boys, Johnny Nelson, my old colleague.
First of all, I've got to thank you, because you were one of the very few people to comment and say your piece, your heart, and that shit with Naz. And I thought, you know what? And you did it in a classy way, And I'm not telling people to take sides. What you're saying is, it's not good, it's not cool, it's not very nice. But you stuck up for me, and I respect that, because many people, what they do is, instead of saying something, they choose to stay quiet. And when they stay quiet,
it's difficult, isn't it? I'm a massive Naz fan. I went to Vegas to watch him fight Barrera, and I followed his career, and because of his inspiration, I got back into boxing.
That's right.
But there's right and there's wrong.
Yeah, that's
and when
right.
you've got when it's your boy and you've trained with him, you've got history together.
Yeah.
There's shit you don't say on the camera.
That's right.
Just say it
That's
to
right.
the face,
And
back in the back door.
And I thought when I
didn't
saw
like
it,
that.
I went, get in there, calm, nice
Yeah,
one, man. So
yeah.
I respect for that.
Yeah.
Listen, and a lot of people phoned him. I said, don't phone me. You know, speak you speak. So you did it, and I thought, good on you.
Yeah,
That's my boy.
Respect, man. Listen,
Big for that.
forget all that bullshit. It's just noise.
Bullshit, man. Bullshit.
We're here tonight for Ricky Hatton Foundation.
Yeah.
I mean, what a absolutely fantastic turnout. It's packed.
Yeah.
Fucking, I didn't get this many for my first world title. And the respect and the love in the audience, and the bloke that did the poem there, the 10-minute poem, it was really good. The words were nice. They brought a tear to my eye. But the crowd was on the feet, cheering. It's so sad.
I'm a bit teary.
So
I'm a bit
sad.
of a crybaby. So even when his son got up to speak, you know, and he started filling up, I fill up. I'm a bit of a pussy like that. And so
She's got a big heart,
yeah.
mate.
So when you see this, I think, geez, it's sad. You see the videos, you think that's sad. You look at Ricky, what we see on the video, then now we know what's happened. You look at Ricky, you think you've got sadness in you, but we didn't see it. Now we see it, looking back on it. So I think this is a great tribute to him. Great tribute.
I interviewed Ricky and my brother was there. He just shoveled up 2 big 500-gram packets of Crisp down him. Have a sip of that beer if you want.
Looks like
I don't know who'd say that. But my brother was there when I was interviewing Ricky Hatton, and Lee had a chat with him. And after the chat, Lee come up to me and went, he's not right. I could see it in his eyes. He's not right. And Lee goes to AA meetings all the time. He's 8 years sober, then he fell off the wagon. Now he's 7 or 8 months sober.
Yeah.
Big Lee, the renovator. And
I didn't know that.
yeah, he had a few drinks, he had a bit of a bender, lost himself a little bit. And because it's close, my brother's my brother.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean, we're really close.
Yeah.
And you see it and you think, what's up with you, man? Fucking hell, snap out of it.
But he recognised it. He recognised
He
it,
knew,
Ricky.
he knew. And he said to me, and then when I got the news, I was like, wow, fucking hell.
Yeah.
And you just want to talk to Ricky Hatton, or you want him to talk to someone. You just want to say, have a chat.
The problem is this, you know what it's like. If you don't want to talk to anybody, you don't pick the phone up, you lock the door, you close the curtains. And so, and if Ricky didn't want to talk to anybody, you can't, anyone's saying why didn't anybody help him, you'd have helped him if you could help him. But if you recognise something in him, you've got to, it's finding a way. And it's just getting to talk, and we're fighters. We're very proud.
If someone's struggling, they've got to take that first step.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
We're
what's
very
so tragic about it.
As a fighter, you're very proud, so you don't really want to ask for help.
No.
Now, even now, you don't want to ask for help. So I can understand the dilemma he was in, and I
saw Campbell earlier. Sorry to stop you, but I saw Campbell, and it's from behind, and then he went to the side, and he's got his hands in his pockets, and I just saw Ricky Hatton.
Has he got Ricky's jacket on?
He had his robe on earlier.
But he had the jacket.
I was like, am I seeing things here? So. And I spoke to Campbell really briefly, but so sad.
It's sad. And
but he's having a great send off. He'll always remembered as being an absolute legend in the game. No one's going to take 30,000 people to Las Vegas from Britain. No one's. And when I'm gone, I won't have this fucking crowd coming doing me a tribute because. He just had that. He had that reach, didn't he?
Ricky made a difference to a lot of people's lives, and he didn't even realise it. I actually was stood in the ring. I turned around. I saw Billy Graham sat there.
Nobody's mentioning that actually tonight.
And I thought, and I always said, if I didn't train with Brendan back in the day, I'd have trained with Billy Graham. I think I'd rate him as a trainer, and he's an orthodox. He doesn't need the fame, the glory. He's like just getting someone a job. And I rate him. I saw him. I thought, why has nobody mentioned this guy? Because even though this is about Ricky. The true power is sometimes behind the throne and people that get you there. So you've always got to give respect to people that. And I've got to respect Billy because he's not been mentioned tonight. You know, it might be family politics or whatever.
From the start, when he arrived,
it might be family politics or whatever. But I rate Billy Graham, and I think him and Ricky were a great team.
Yeah, well said, mate. Well said. Just really quick before I let you go. Current boxing. What do you make of Usyk against?
Rico. I think Usyk against Rico, he dropped the ball the first time he'd been unprofessional.
Yeah. Do you think he's getting old?
No. I think if he fights him again, he'll do a hell of a lot better job. So before that, you saw Usyk. You never saw Usyk, he trained, but then all of a sudden he's popping up left, right and centre everywhere. And so he's getting into the commercial side of it, turning up to things to promote what he's doing, promote about what's happening in the Ukraine, promote about all the things he's pushing forward. And I thought he's now taking his eye off the ball. When he got in the ring, he was like looking up, and he wasn't concentrating, completely focused on it. And you know what it's like if you get in the ring with, it's like when you boxed George Groves here. You didn't respect
Yeah,
him.
you're dead right. You're dead right.
You know what I mean? And no matter how big it was, you didn't respect him, and you got clattered.
Yeah.
And then next time I thought, that's not going to happen again.
The rematch.
And that's what in the rematch, 80,000 people in Wembley Stadium.
He helped me out on the pull and the push because the gloves are off on Sky.
That's right, we did it, and that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, it's hard to lift yourself for somebody you don't respect.
Yeah,
And I
that's a good
think
point.
Usyk is only human. He couldn't lift himself for somebody he didn't respect. And I tell you now, you've only got one time to make a first impression. And again, you can say whatever you want. If he'd have got in with AJ, if he'd have got in with Tyson Fury, and nobody saw him, and nobody, no, I mean Rico, and nobody saw him,
Rico, okay.
Rico would have beaten both.
You reckon?
But now we know what Rico's about. Anthony Joshua would probably do what happened to Ngannou. You know, we know what he's about. We think, shit, he's big, he's strong. He can take a bit of a
Because
collatting.
that size and strength.
That's
that worked
right.
For him, didn't
Made
it?
a big difference.
He's busy as well, isn't he?
That's so the art of surprise is gone.
Yeah.
So now if Fury and Tyson and AJ box him, they'd beat him. But if they box him for the first time without seeing him, he'd have beat those boys.
Yeah, Usyk could be in danger of fighting on one too long as well, which would be such a shame. If he loses to someone he would have usually beat. Because he beats anyone, doesn't he? Let's be honest. He's already beat them all.
Yeah, so
If he carries on now and gets beat, it's going to be like, what have you done?
I think he does a rematch and quits.
Yeah.
He doesn't need, and I'm not saying he's shot, I'm not saying he's gone.
Bad fight.
It's not a bad fight. I think he beats Caballero.
I think he beats him.
Down I think he beats him. But he's got to think which one is financially more viable.
Yeah.
And which one makes the most amount of money.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I think it'd be the rematch.
Yeah. Can't let you go without asking you about Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Is it his biggest fight? Is it the biggest fight in British boxing history?
It was. It probably still is. Commercially.
Hang on, let me rewind. Still is. Let me just think about this.
No, wait.
Ben Eubank,
Oh yeah. Well,
Froch Groves.
yeah, but no.
There's two.
On its day, 5 years ago it was.
Yeah, it was.
You know, so commercially, it's still the biggest fight in the world right
Commercially,
now.
but does that make the fight big? There's no needle, there's no world titles, there's no jeopardy. They've already been beat. If you're just ranking 1, 2, and 3, biggest fights in British boxing history.
In British boxing.
Who's the number 1?
I say Nigel Benn. Chris
Yeah, I'd
Eubank.
say that. No, I agree. Number 2.
I'd say yours and George.
He knows the game.
I'd say yours. No, I'd say yours and George because I saw all the shit that happened behind it.
Yeah.
I saw all the build up to it and everything. I was here when they cheered you coming in, and they threw coins at you going out.
Spat
I was
in your
here,
face.
spat at you and everything.
Tasty.
And
Someone had a kebab and have a laugh.
so what I'm saying is, when you see that kind of, it's real. It's not bullshit.
No, proper.
So the build up to it. And you might think I'm saying this because he's here, but the build up to it, you think, fuck.
The 2 fights crossed over, didn't they? It
Yeah,
captured the
and
public's
and he went mad. George was like,
And he was right in the middle of it.
yeah, man. And I'm thinking, I like this. But George is very good at getting under people's skin. He did it
Yeah,
with
he
James
did a
DeGale.
fantastic job.
George he looks like a geek, but he's not a geek.
No,
He knows
listen,
what he's
I've got
doing.
massive respect for George
Yeah.
Groves. He went on to win a world title after I splattered him. And that takes some doing, doesn't it?
Shall I tell you who I think you'd get on with? And I know it's a bit controversial. Darren Till.
Darren Till.
Yeah. And I know you two have had a bit of back and forth.
No, I can see that.
But you two are
see
cut
that.
from the same cloth.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I go to his guerrilla promotion, I'm thinking, it's a shame that you two have a bit of beef, but because you two, if I had to go out and have a crew with me, I'd have him and Till. And I'm done.
Yes.
Nobody's beating me
That's
because
a good
these guys, they can really fight. They think, fuck it, come on, let's have it.
No, I've got respect
Yeah,
for Till.
yeah.
I see him in his last fight. He got clipped in the first round.
Yeah.
I know people say, oh, who's he fighting? But the kid he fought from, was it on...
Aaron Chalmers or whatever his name was.
Yeah, and he's a bit of a reality TV show,
Yeah.
but he takes the fighting seriously,
Yeah.
and he can punch a bit, and he hurt Till in the
But
first one.
he went into bare knuckle. Why
No,
would you do
exactly.
bare knuckle?
He just wants to
Yeah,
fight, and he
yeah,
wants to make some dough, doesn't
And that's
he?
what I'm saying.
Fair play
and-
to him.
But he's actually, you two are actually very much the same. I say it about Dylan White and Derek Chisora, and they hate each other.
Yeah, I know what
But
you're saying.
my elder brother who's passed away was exactly like them two, could cause trouble in an empty room. You two, I just laugh, I think, fucking hell.
Listen, I give him a bit of shit. He defended himself, and rightly so. But I've got nothing personal against Darren Till. And after what he did the other day, I've got to respect him, man. So I'm not going to fight again. I'm 50 years old next year.
You don't
I'm
have
nearly
to fight.
49. I'm nearly 49.
You don't have to fight.
And
you can't.
age waits for no man, as
Yeah,
you know.
you don't have to fight. I saw you do stuff with Andre Ward, and I thought I liked that because I remember when you two were on it,
Yeah.
it was bad blood.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that's maturity right there. So you don't have to fight. We're still world champions up there.
Yeah.
I looked at Bellew Smith and Riziki the other night. I thought I'd have hammered these two. I'm 59 now. I'm like, I would have done,
Yeah.
but I can't now.
You forget.
So,
You think you're 19, don't you?
yeah. Until you've done a
Yeah.
couple of rounds and then you're done.
Anyway, back to AJ Fury. Who wins?
If it's on, if it's on, if it's on points, I'd go. If it's on points, I'd go Fury.
Yeah.
If it's inside the distance, I go on to Joshua.
So AJ could get to him, but he's got to turn up and
he's got no.
let his hands go.
It depends on what version of AJ turns up.
Yeah, and we don't know what's left of AJ.
So if I'm saying top tier both fighters, I say AJ stops him, Fury wins on points. If AJ comes out and AJ is like a bit off, he gets done, and he don't lose on points. He gets knocked out. Yeah. So it's a case of what version of AJ turns up. And what version of Tyson Fury turns up. Unfortunately, right now, the version we've got is not the version we had 5 years ago. Yeah, so you just got to say how it is.
Just one really quick one, and I've asked this to a couple of people, because I'm quite interested. There's Conor Ben. Conor Ben's a big name.
Yeah.
And you've got to rate him because of his fitness, his commitment, his tenacity when he's in the ring. He tries, he believes in himself. Yeah. But what do you reckon to the Ryan Garcia fight? Is it a step too far?
No, I think it's a tough fight, a winnable fight. But
do you think he can do it?
But I'm not saying he can. But I think it can. It's a doable fight for him. Yeah. And the thing is, you got to give. Listen, sometimes you go into fights, he's never going to do it, and you don't think it's doable until it's done. I'm not saying Conor Ben beats Garcia because I think it's a tough ask, but it's not an impossible ask. Yeah. And what he's done, I saw him Saturday night, and I actually thought this kid's grown up. This kid was like on the ringside set when we were interviewing his dad, and now look where he is. Yeah. And actually, he's created an exodus. We were down at the Zuffa promotion down there, and all those fighters that are with Frank and that are with Eddie, that are with Ben Shalom, they were all there trying to get into the mix. With Zuffa, I'm thinking, you know what, you promoters, you need to make sure you've locked those contracts down, because Conor was the first one to do it, and now they're all thinking, I want a piece of that action. Yeah. And so I think Conor Benn's matured in so many ways. And yes, I'm going to get shit for saying he's got a chance against Garcia, but I don't care.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. You've got to be true to your word. If you think he's got a chance, there's not many giving him a chance. Yeah. Me, myself, I'd love to see him go in there, make a fight of it at least. Yeah. I don't want to see him get outclassed. Whatever kind of Ben thinks about me, because I'm honest and he gets the ump a little bit, I respect his work ethic and his self-belief, and you've got to. And he's smashed it. Yeah. He's absolutely capitalised on the name. Had them 2 fights with Eubank Jr. And he had that fight against his last fight he fought, Prograis. Yeah. And he made hard work of that. Yeah. But he was in against it, really. Prograis passed his best. He was never going to win in that fight. He was never going to. Because if he beat the fighting style, he'd have got stick anyway.
Yeah, he was under enough pressure as it is. But you've got to remember, this kid's earned £15 million, $15 million. And, you know, if he's never going to do that, he's made $50 million out of our game. So he took advantage of the business side of it and the promotional side of it. Look what he's done. Now he's put himself in a position to box in Vegas, 12th of September against Garcia. Yeah. And you're thinking, that's a big ask. But nobody thought Donald Curry could do it when he went, not Donald Curry, nobody thought Lloyd Honey could do it against Donald Curry. Yeah. And we writ him off for not a chance in hell. So don't write fighters off. Things change.
Fair enough, Janet. Always appreciate your honesty. Always great to see you. We were going later. We have to. We're going. Whatever you want. You were moving a shaker.
That's how I roll. I got flares on, man. You look how I'm dressed. I'm doing
that. He's always up to speed with the fashion. Sometimes you get a bit of stick about your fashion.
I don't care, man.
I mean, hang on.
What is that?
Beautiful,
Velvet?
Johnny, you start the show, man. Take care, bro. See you soon.
Nice one, bless.
That was Johnny Nelson. Always good to talk to him. He's a great talker. He touched on the Nas thing as well, which was nice. He's a man of principles, Johnny Nelson, and very classy in the way he dealt with that. Fair play to him. But don't forget, this is Ricky Hatton's night. I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of the evening. It's packed. It's mad out there. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit subscribe to the best channel in the business, Froch on Fighting. Appreciated as always, and we'll see you very soon.